I just wanted to point out something that hit me the other day. Not like, uh, I mean, it wasn't a spiritual revelation. Maybe it was. I don't know. It's hard to tell sometimes. I don't completely discredit those. I listen to everybody for a while, some more than others. But have you noticed how the mainstream media is kind of silent about this September 23rd thing? CNN has nothing to say so far, or the other alphabet outlets. Whereas in the past, Harold Camping couldn't get enough of him all the time with the end of the world stuff and the Mayan calendar. But this, which just makes me think that perhaps there might be a lot more to this than meets the eye. It's good to know what your enemy's doing, and make no mistake about it, they're scum. The airwaves are run by Satan, and I was around news departments selling drugs to them. No, I'm just kidding. Why do I do that? I discredit my message. It was going to be so good. It's almost over anyway. Let's take a look at Ephesians chapter 1. All right. We all have our pasts. The past is past at last, right? We have a new identity in Christ. As a matter of fact, we've become God's gift. All right. He gave us something. He gave us Jesus Christ. And we, in return, in Christ, become his inheritance. All right. Take a look at verse 18. Paul wants the eyes of your understanding to be enlightened, so you may know what is the hope of his calling and what the riches of the glory of his inheritance in the saints. Because we've already been translated, all right, from darkness to light. You know the truth now. He is the truth. All right. But what will be, man, you gotta. That's not in our terrain right now. We're earthly creatures. And we've been largely programmed by a lot of nonsense through the years, and you have to sort of undo that and renew your mind in accordance with Romans 12. Remember, so that you won't be conformed to this world in the way that they think, not in the way they behave. You can tell by the way they behave how they think. They think about the flesh. They think about putting robes on. They think about doing all sorts of things that have nothing whatsoever to do with what God has done through Jesus Christ. And when you believe in the gospel, that he was raised for everybody's justification, it should get you off of that and not embroiled in a lot of the conflicts that you're seeing in the world today. Because it's never just one thing. Satan would have you believe it. Satan would have you believe that it all boils down to black and white. If we can just get the race thing straightened out. It's never just that. There's all sorts of contributing factors. He's, the ancient art of weaving and sowing discord and hatred and ignorance and superstition, all these things into humanity that only the glorious light of the gospel of Christ in its simplicity blows completely away. All right. So they're not saying anything about September 23rd, which I find interesting. And in the past, when we've had trouble, we had the Bay of Pigs thing in the early 60s. We didn't have all the other peripheral fun stuff that's also happening, coinciding with the guy over in North Korea. But there weren't people heralding the end of days or anything. So I think a lot of them are actually hearing from the Lord. I can't look. I had open visions, and I've had things happen. I don't talk about them because people want that for themselves. That's where you got to do your own business with God. Nobody else can do it for you. But it's interesting to note they're not saying anything about it, which I take as a good sign, if you believe in signs. All right? Be well. Grace and peace to you. Talk to you soon here or in the air. Bye-bye.